Hey, everybody. Welcome to our training, our special training with Jenna Larson. I'm so excited to have her on. While I'm getting you guys all on and welcome, I'm going to go ahead and share this into one of our groups. So just give me a second here. I think I see Jenna on. What's up, girlfriend? How you doing? For everyone that's on the Zoom already, I want you guys to go ahead and drop in the comments and the chat. We're going to get that going, and then I'm going to sync this up right now to stream on Facebook. I want you guys to share in the comments one word to describe what it's like right now when it comes to your prospecting game. Okay. When it comes to social media, when it comes to managing your leads, tracking them, what's one word to describe that and what that's all about for you? We're setting up the stream right now. Everyone on social media, on Facebook, welcome. So excited to have you guys on. My name is Kimberly Olson, also known as the Gold Digger Girl, and I have my girl Jenna Larson on. Welcome, Jenna.
Hello.
So excited. Thank you so much for doing this with us today. We are really needing some structure. We need systems. We need tools because most of my audience are busy moms. Some of them have kiddos at home. Some of them are working. And we are not only grateful for your time to share this amazing tool with you that myself I've used and my team has used, but to give us a little glimpse and some hope that we can get some structure here. So thank you for being on. I so appreciate you.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to be here. So excited.
Awesome. Okay. So for those that are on Facebook, I think this is streaming in Gold Digging Boss Babes. What I want you guys to do, we are doing this webinar live right now. We're streaming into the Facebook group. So if you're catching us via Facebook, in the comments, I want you to let Jenna know what is your biggest struggle when it comes to keeping track of your leads. What's the biggest struggle? Is it they're all over the place? Is it you don't have a system? Are you writing some down on paper? You're trying to use Trello. There's no automation for follow-up, so people are slipping through the cracks, or all of the above, right? Share that in the comments so we can grab those, and I'll keep an eye on those for you, Jenna, while you tell us about GroupTrack. So I want to introduce you, Jenna. You're just one of those people that, I'll be honest, I get pitched a lot of things. Like people will message me and tell me things and I'm usually like, oh, that's nice. And when you reached out, you were like, hey, I've noticed things about you. I see what you teach. I think this could really help you and your people. And the way that you just hit my pain points, brought value to the table right away. You were like, hey, I made this quick video for you that specifically would work for your audience. I was like, who are you? So I just want to commend you for learning the game of, building real relationships, offering value and leading with that. So we met on social media. So the power of connection. And you actually come from the coaching space. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. So I am the owner and coach at Drive Performance Coaching, and I help entrepreneurs implement systems and strategies and repeatable processes so that they do not lose their mind or everything through the cracks as they're trying to serve their clients.
So you're our new best friend because we are all losing our minds right now because a lot of us are, struggling with mental health, having kiddos at home, like I said. And, a lot of the girls are doing multiple things. They might have a job or they've got kiddos home or they are doing multiple businesses online. Some of them have direct sales, network marketing, affiliate marketing, coaching. So there's just all these pieces. So this is going to be really relevant conversation, but you come to the table with already that experience and understanding what we're struggling with as well, which is really cool.
Absolutely.
So to start, why don't you tell us a little bit, we're going to talk about a software that she has co-created where we can actually get control of leads and tracking them. So it's called GroupTrack. We're going to see that it's not just for Facebook groups, which is blowing my mind because I just used it just now and I went and found the person and added it in 2 seconds, which I'm not tech savvy. Ask anybody on my team. So we're going to talk about that today, but to start, Jenna, why don't you tell us a little bit about how this came to be, why there was a struggle and you were like, okay, we got to fix this.
Yeah, absolutely. So as I mentioned, I have been coaching and really actually in the network marketing space for quite a while. And 99% of the work I do in my business is on Facebook. So I'm doing my webinars, my prospecting, my client retention, all through Facebook. And one of the things that I teach my clients is how to implement a follow-up system. Only problem was the follow-up system I was teaching was not on Facebook. And so I'm trying to get everybody to go between all these different systems and follow up and know what they're doing, because I truly believe that you should not be thinking in your business because I think it kills you. Yeah. I think you should have a plan that you implement. Well, so I was teaching all this stuff, but I'm like, "Ugh, this is so frustrating. I am losing track of people on Facebook. And this is the thing I teach. Like, this cannot be, right? So I reached out to one of the clients that I had coached privately with his tech business. And I said, Nate, I need you to create me this thing. I need to know how to track my leads, my clients, my prospects, all the things on Facebook. And he said, no, not possible. We can never make this. It's just not going to work. And then 2 weeks later, he was like, Jenna, I think I did it. And so it just like went crazy. And so what's so funny and what Kimberly was mentioning is, the real pain that I was trying to solve in my business was I don't know where all the people in my Facebook groups are within my sales process. Have I talked to them? Have I made them an offer? Do I know what their pain points are? And all those things, right? And so initially we made this to manage groups, and that's why it's called GroupTrack. Well, since we launched in June, it has like literally taken over a mind of its own because we've had so much great input from amazing coaches like Kimberly. And so what's happened is it now works everywhere in Facebook. So this is no longer a group management system. It literally is like a Facebook management system. So we kind of joke that we should probably just change the name because it's a little deceiving on what it is, but we like to think of it as like a surprise bonus. You think you're getting an amazing thing to manage your group, but it's actually going to manage your life.
You're manage everything.
So really it was made out of my pain point. And I love, Kimberly, that you said that I hit your pain points. Guess what? You were in my group track, right? Like that's how
so
I did it.
cool. That's
Right,
awesome.
yeah. So I was like, how can I solve this problem for this person, right? And so that's truly what I like to teach. People only make decisions and only purchase for two reasons: avoid pain or get pleasure.
Mhm.
And if you can understand what those things are, it's so much easier to articulate why your product or service is going to help them, right? And so that's one of the things that I always recommend that we track about our folks is, what are their pains? What are their goals? How can we serve them?
That's amazing. I love that so much. Someone asked, and I know you're going to show us about it. Someone asked, I haven't tried this yet. Can it sync up with your business page?
Yes, you guys.
Oh my gosh, I
Business
can't even
page,
handle this.
profile page, news feed,
Since when
comment.
Leanne said, shut up.
It's ridiculous.
Stop it. Drop the mic.
I know. It's legit ridiculous.
Oh
It
my
is.
gosh.
Even I am like, sometimes I trip out like, did we do this? Like, what's happening? It's so
Where
crazy.
am I? Am I in a glass case of awesomeness?
Yes.
So the cool thing is everyone on here loves Trello. Most of my people do. Trello is life. I just was planning out a challenge that our team is going to do in November. We're using Trello. Like, you do this, you do this. It's great because we're all on there. We can coordinate, checklists, all that. But what I was finding with, and I have so many leads on my Trello board that are all new from this year. Okay, brand new. And I've been doing network marketing for 3.5 years. And I love it. I love seeing it all there. It's great. But I have to be completely transparent with you guys. I can't even tell you how many people slip through the cracks. And this is how I know. I'll get someone on my team who's like, so-and-so joined. And I'm like, I know that name, and I'll go look at their name. And we were talking months ago, which I'm happy because the person's on my team. So I'm, that's great. But I always ask myself, like, did you do your best? Did you do your best to follow up? Did you lead from the front? Right. And, luckily I do a good job, but I was like, man, I could really take things to the next level. And there's so many people who have slipped through the cracks. The other thing is, whenever you have to go and do something manually, there's error. You either forget, you spell their name wrong, you can't find them later. And when you have something automated and you can show them how you can click. I just did this right before the call. I went and found the names and click, 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 and they were there. Like, their profiles right there in GroupTrack. I'm just like, oh my gosh. So I think that's key of, when you have something automated like this, that you can remove that error. And we can all agree that we can all get better with when it comes to keeping track of our leads.
Yeah. And it's really a place of like service, right? When someone enters your Facebook group, I like to think of it as like your online retail store. When someone walks into a store, you're typically greeted by someone and asked, how can I serve you, right? And so if people are joining your Facebook group or raising their hand and saying, yes, I'd like to kind of see what you got, and we are silent and we do nothing, first of all, we're not serving our people who desperately need what we have to offer. But secondarily, we're wasting like opportunity to make money. Absolutely. Literally, right? I know all the time people say like, I don't have leads. And I'm like, yes, you do. They're right there. They've raised their hand. You just haven't taken them through the process to earn the opportunity to make the offer yet, right?
Yeah.
And so what I really love about GroupTrack is we're going to take your process out of your brain and put it in a rinse and repeat system that tells you what to do so you do not have to think. Thinking is the worst.
Yeah. And if people get into paralysis analysis and then they don't do
Absolutely.
anything. And, we don't necessarily teach like, send go comment on their wall and their stories. And I know some other people teach that, but if that's your process, if you've been trying to do it manually, which I have tried in the past, it is a nightmare because you're like, okay, I've commented 2 times. Should I message them now? Like it's this weird thing. Well, with this, you can actually just check, and you can have it like all set up to do that. The other thing is, you guys, I think you're all aware that we're to a point now where everybody has a home-based business. Everybody's a coach. I mean, come on, like it's the biggest time ever we've had this, and it's just going to continue to grow. Your job is to be different. Your job is to figure out how to stand out. Your job is to make that person go, wow. And the very best way to do that is with excellent customer service, which you just said. And it starts before they're a customer. So imagine someone gets into your Facebook group, right? Or a new friend request. And with the power of GroupTrack, we have it set up where everyone, and most of you are already in my group, so you haven't had this happen, but we have an email that's automatically sent to that new person. We used to manually capture all the emails from the questions where they enter the group, and we put them on a tracker, and then we imported them into our email list, and then they were just on our email list. Like it wasn't anything special. We have it automated now where when they come into our group, they get a welcome email from me. Like, is that going to make me stand out? Absolutely. I can guarantee there's very few people out there. All of you guys are going to be newly doing this, but people aren't getting that kind of connection. So they're getting in these groups, they're wandering around. No one even notices them. They're out, guys. They're out. People are just, they need to be seen. They need to connect. And our time is so limited. Our attention span is so limited. We got to grab them right away.
Absolutely. If we're going to be serving them, it needs to be systematic, it needs to be proactive. And, when someone's in your group, if they're not seeing your stuff after a while, they're not going to see it at all anymore. Right. Mm-hmm. And so we have to be that person who stands up and does the thing. So one of the things that Kimberly was just mentioning is how many of you guys, when you have someone come into your Facebook group, you ask them questions right before they enter? One of the things that we recommend is asking questions that are going to help you serve them in the future, right? What is your biggest pain point when it comes to XYZ? Mm-hmm. Well, when you get that information, what do you do with it, right? Do you know that when you click approve and add them into your group, guess what? It goes away forever, right? Bye. So you don't know what they just said that you know what I mean? And they're literally telling you exactly how to sell to them. They're saying, I don't know how to do this. And you can say, hey, I see when you joined my group, one of the things that you were, questioning is this. I'm not sure if you're aware, but here's what I can offer you, right? So with GroupTrack, one of the things that's so amazing is when you run this extension and you add people to your group. So when you're accepting their request to get into your group, not only is it going to accept them into your Facebook group, but it's going to capture all the information that they provided. So for example, if you ask them your pain points, it's going to grab those pieces of information. If you ask for their email address, it is going to get that email address and capture it. And so what Kimberly is mentioning is that this system can actually integrate with other systems as well. So for example, ConvertKit and things like that. I use it with Kartra. So as soon as you enter my Facebook group and give me your email address, you're immediately put into my automation series where I'm going to drip you information, but I'm also going to be proactive and follow my steps in GroupTrack. So it's literally crazy.
Imagine you guys, a lot of you are in network marketing, direct sales. So if you're the leader of your group, like I run my group and I have a team that helps me, but it's my group. Imagine if you had a new person who's checking out your guys' product, right? Or you guys know I teach value. So hopefully it's like health and wellness or, feeling beautiful from the inside out if you do like makeup or lashes or skincare. But imagine they join your group and you send them a welcome message and now you can create a sequence for them. So you're like, hey, did you catch this? It's in the units tab and direct them back to the group. Oh my goodness, did you get our cool checklist to help you make sure you're awesome every day? Like you could literally create a sequence. And then this is the best part. that's not duplicatable necessarily for your team to do something that advanced. You do it as the leader, and now you're positioning yourself as the person to be with. So when other people see this happening, you're way more likely to recruit business builders and awesome business builders who are like, oh my gosh, she gets it. I want to be on her team. So you're creating this for your entire team. So as they plug people into your Facebook group, that you are nurturing their lead for them. Because we always say, tag the person who invited you, tag the person who invited you. They have that relationship with that person. But for you to offer that for your team and love on that new prospect, the retention goes through the roof. The person's likelihood of buying and becoming a customer and a business builder, because they're like, this is awesome. This is like done for me. It goes through the roof.
Absolutely. And you think about when you're bringing on new builders into your team, right? One of the biggest fears they have is, am I going to be able to do what you're doing?
Yes.
Right? Like, I'm new. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. Well, what's so beautiful about GroupTrack is you can have one account and you can add your team to it. So if you've got your downline, they literally get to work your brain. You put the process in, you put your snippets in, you put your stages in, they just get to work the system. So when we talk about duplication, there is nothing more duplicatable than GroupTrack, which is really amazing. I do see that there were a couple questions in the chat, so I would love to just address this. You do not have to own the Facebook group in order to use GroupTrack in it. So for example, you know, if you're the upline and you've got your group, you can of course run GroupTrack. You can add your team and they can also work it as well. They do not need to own the Facebook group. Now, we always say, please use this for good and not evil. So of course, we never want you to go in and poach other coaches, you know, teams or anything like that. But you can, so for example, let's just put this as an example. One of the things that I do is go into the Facebook group, Women Entrepreneur Helping Women, right?
I was just in there this morning.
Yes. So I put a lead magnet there and I said, hey, you guys, I just sold $20,000 of coaching in a week. Would anyone like to use the snippets, which are like the Facebook messages that I use to do this? Every single person who says, yes, 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 guess what? I'm adding them to GroupTrack, right? I do not own that group. I'm not stealing clients, but I am getting them to opt in to say, heck yes, right? And then I can bring them in and start nurturing them and get them into my group and then make them an offer. So you do not have to own the group.
Genius.
It's out of control. The other thing is, as I mentioned, this works for groups, but you can use it for anyone outside of groups too. So if you're on your Facebook profile and you're like, oh my gosh, that guy or girl would be an amazing fit for my product or my program or my team, boom, click add them and start working them through the process. So this literally works everywhere in Facebook.
Oh my gosh, crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you
want me to like give you a little tour?
Yes. Their heads are all exploding. So
okay. And you guys haven't even seen it yet. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. Okay. So exciting. So I'm going to walk you guys through two things. So the first thing is the web app. So basically, this is what GroupTrack looks like, and this is kind of how you're going to create your process flow. And I don't know if this is a surprise for later or not, Kimberly, but for those of you who purchased, I think Kimberly's actually going to give you a cheat sheet of exactly how to set it up to work it the way her brain works, right?
Yeah.
Which is
so we actually, I want to give Alicia credit on it. So we have an affiliate link for GroupTrack. So we ask that you use my link so we can support you. Alicia Wish is, along with Anna Bearfield, those green personalities that like, they're just like, this is the best thing ever. So Alicia's been working behind the scenes to set it up for those that build their businesses like I teach you guys with attraction marketing and all that. So everybody who registered for the webinar or grabs the GroupTrack will get a checklist that Alicia made for you guys. So yeah.
Yeah. And it's going to tell you literally everything you need to do to work it the way she would tell you to do it. So I'm just going to kind of give you a little tour of this, and then I'm going to show you how it works in the wild in Facebook. So what you're going to see when you register is you're going to have your registered groups. One of the groups that everybody gets is called the holding tank. And I want you guys to kind of think about the holding tank is like literally anywhere on Facebook that is not in a registered group. So for example, if you're on a business page, someone's profile, your news feed, a discussion feed, Facebook Messenger, like literally anywhere on Facebook, if you see a lead that's a good fit for your program or your service, you can add them and it will capture them in your holding tank. The idea of the holding tank is that you're learning about these people, you're nurturing them, you're getting to know them, and then you're eventually going to invite them into one of your registered Facebook groups. Okay. The other thing you're going to see here is my registered Facebook groups. there's an unlimited amount of Facebook groups you guys can register. Literally, you could have 1 million if you want to, right? I have multiple coaching programs. So I have a Facebook group for each of my coaching programs, as well as one where I basically do all my prospecting and selling out of. So that's what you're seeing over here. And then what you're going to see as well is what we call global tags. So global tags are basically anything you want to capture about the particular person you are recruiting, right? So for example, one of the things that I'm tracking is what program did they buy from me already? What industry are they in? What company are they in, right? I serve a lot of network marketers, so I track specifically what company do you work with? What am I prospecting you for? What do I think you'd be a good fit for? Is it that I want you to come in as a customer? Is it that I want you to come in as a builder on my team? Like, what is my intention with you based on who you are? What lead magnet have I sent you? And so forth, right? So the biggest one that I love tracking is your pain point, right? Because if you tell me this is where I struggle, what I'm going to be able to do then is find all the people with a particular pain point and then tag them in the video that solves their problem. Talk about giving service and giving results. If I do a video on organization and you just told me you struggle with organization and all of a sudden I'm like, hey, you need to watch this video. All of a sudden you have results. You are going to be so bought into like, okay, this is a great idea, right?
Can you search that? Like, let's say you made the organization video, and for you guys, like, let's say you come up with a new product, and of course you're going to let everybody know, but you're like, ooh, I want to go back to those people who told me they would love a product like that. Can you search it and pull up those people?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. So when you have your contacts in GroupTrack, you can sort by tags, you can sort by group, you can literally search by words that they would have said when you entered them into the group, right? Your questions that you asked them. So you can do all sorts of crazy sorting and searching to find the specific people you're looking for. Absolutely.
That is so cool.
So tags are amazing. Let's say, for example, you're building this as a team and you've got your downline. One of the tags you guys might set is who's going to work that lead, right? So that would be a really great way to assign. Yep, exactly. All right. Awesome. So the next thing I want to just kind of briefly show you guys is, those groups that we're tracking over here. These are going to be the rinse and repeat stages that we're going to kind of put our brain in GroupTrack so we never have to think, what should I do next again? So you're going to basically come in here, taking Kimberly's and Alicia's cheat sheet, and they're going to tell you exactly what to name these stages. Now know that these are completely customizable. You can edit them, you can color code them, you can do all the fun things you want to do with them, but these are going to be what guides you on what to do next. So the way that I like to build this out is I say, what stage am I going to do? What specifically should I do during this stage? And then what you're going to notice is some of these stages have what we call a linked snippet. I want you guys to think about how many times have you gone to write a Facebook message to someone and you're like, oh my gosh, I've written that damn message 100 times, right? Well, instead of doing that, what we're going to do is say, well, once I write it once, I'm going to save it as a template, and we call them snippets, and we're going to attach them to the stage. So for example, every time I move someone to sent private message, it's going to say, hey, Jenna, you have a snippet attached to this stage. Would you like to send it? And I'm going to say, heck yes, please send it, right? So I don't even have to leave GroupTrack and go into Facebook Messenger anymore. It's going to send it for me. So crazy.
I haven't done that yet. That's so
awesome. My gosh, it's crazy. So I'm going to show you just right here in the web app how that works. So literally I can go in here. I can grab somebody that I want to send a message to, find them in my system, pull up their account, and then this is going to be kind of what their profile looks like. So as I mentioned, right, you can put their email address, their phone number, you can look at their Facebook, or right here, it says send a message or snippet.
Okay.
So I'm going to go here. I'm going to select the one I want to send, and boom, it's written done for you. Oh my God. What you're going to notice, you guys.
Look at her name.
Yes, I was just going to say that. It's going to pull her name for you. Right? So you do not have to go in and say what their name is. And then boom, send snippet. And I've done it. It now is in her Facebook Messenger. I do not need to go send it myself. Okay. The other thing is you're going to notice that message is tracked right here. I don't need to go and be like, did I do that? Did I send that? Nope. It's right here. Literally everything I need to know about Colleen is right here. this is the stage she's in within my process flow. If I want to set a follow-up task, I can do that right here. I can see all the messages I have sent her. I can add my tags of, whatever I need to do with her. Literally everything. I mean, it's kind of crazy. So this is how we set it up in the web app. Okay. If you think this is good, like stand by. Okay. Because that was just the setup. Now we have to actually use it in Facebook. Okay. So I'm going to show you exactly how this works. So I'm literally just sitting here on my Facebook. I'm actually going to refresh this because it's been sitting here for a minute. But what I'm going to do is you're going to see in the upper right-hand corner of my screen, there is this little icon for GroupTrack. And we call this the hero icon because it's literally going to save your business, your life, your time, and your sanity. And what I do is I just click on it. And what you're going to start noticing is every single, Facebook is now refreshing.
This is a Chrome extension.
It is a Chrome extension, exactly. So let me just close this. So as I am running this, what you're going to start to see is that next to every single name on Facebook, my little Chrome extension hero icon is going to start populating. And sometimes when I am on Zoom, it likes to be slow. So we'll just hang out for a second. One of the things to always keep in mind is we want to make sure that Facebook loads completely before we press the little button. Otherwise it likes to.
I think I did that earlier. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's us too. So let's say you're guest training in a group and you know how you're like, oh, those leads, right? All the things, like you could just go on here and be like, add.
Yes. So look, all you're going to see here is next to every single person, there is this GroupTrack icon. I'm going to hover over it and it literally tells me exactly where she is within my process flow, right? So I'm going to see here, I've put Kimberly as a GroupTrack client, right? So this is kind of like my holding tank. I'm in the wild in Facebook. I'm not in a group. I'm just in my news feed, right? So I can literally just scroll, right? Oh my gosh. Okay. So literally, I'm just going to show you because this is too funny. Here you all are, right? Let me just show you the ridiculousness. I'm like, Cassandra, I'm going to add you to GroupTrack right now. And I'm going to say, you are identified as a lead, right?
How awesome is that?
So crazy, right? So literally you can do this anywhere when people are raising their hand and saying, OMG, I want what you have. Are you walking them through the process, right? So now with Cassandra, I can say, okay, next thing I need to do, I'm going to send her a friend request. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to build relationship with her, right? And remember, if there is a message snippet attached to any of these, it's going to say, hey, would you like to send her this message? And I'm going to say, heck yes. So what I can do right here is view notes. Literally, Cassandra, I wonder if you are still watching because we are using you here. And I'm going to go right here and I can literally send her a GroupTrack overview.
Alicia said.
Send. Now I just sent it to her, right? Like I don't have to do anything. Everything is done for me, right? So when I said duplication and when I said no thinking, I'm serious, right? So imagine you put your process in this program, your downline can just execute it. Crazy.
Right. To that new person, you're like, okay, here's the message to send.
Exactly.
And hopefully you guys are all teaching like that new person, teach them how to do a curiosity post to kind of launch and let the world know what they're doing. Well, when they get all those leads, a lot of them don't even keep track. So they don't even know like, okay, do I message them? Do I do a 3-way chat? Like that whole process, even as clear as it is, I'll get a lot of confusion from new people in that. Like, what do I do now? There's no more, what do I do now? You just set it up for that new person. Now she's showing you bells and whistles. The new person, it's very simple, right? Can, send this initial message, send the tool, get them into a 3-way chat, follow up. Very simple. So you've got this new person where again, you take the thinking out. If you do that, they get into activity and that's the key.
And it's not hard activity. You guys, when you look at your team and you're like, why are they not working? When someone is uncomfortable about what to do next or what to say, they don't do it because it's awkward. If you say, do this, use this verbiage, it's like, oh my gosh, they have a little safety blanket, right? And they get into action, they get results, and they're like, oh my gosh, I can do this on my own. And then they can get more nuanced, right? So I'm going to show you just really quickly. I know someone asked about a business page. So literally I'm on my business page. Anybody who comments, again, I can add them here. I want to show you another crazy little trick that I do. So I go over onto my business page. I click settings. I go to people and other pages. And guess what, guys? It's going to show you a list of everybody who likes your business page. And so I'm going to ask you, have you made an offer to everyone who likes your business page? Have you
invited them to your Facebook group, your freebie, your challenge, like leads galore? There's so many unturned stones out there.
Right.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
like, what have you done with these people? These people have raised their hand and said, I'd like to learn more. I'd like to see what's up, right?
Awesome.
Well, you can run GroupTrack right here. And look, you guys, boom, add to GroupTrack. And then now I can literally be like, I am going to start walking her through my process, right? So it's just crazy how many leads you have sitting there that you may just not realize you have not done anything with. Joyce, I know you're watching. Look, I'm adding my holding tank, just so you know, right? So
that's so fabulous.
Right? You can do this on business pages. I want to show you one other quick thing because I know I don't want to keep you guys forever. I could literally talk about this all day. I don't even know how much time we have scheduled, Kimberly, so you can totally stop me.
You're good right now, so it's perfect.
You can also, for example, go onto someone's personal page. Okay, so I want to show you this because it's crazy. Okay, so you can go onto someone's personal page. You can run GroupTrack. And I don't know if I'm in my own GroupTrack, so let's see if this is a good example. I'm like, am I tracking myself? I do not know.
Where am I?
What you're gonna see when you run GroupTrack, okay, so I'm probably not a good example because I don't track myself, but excuse me, what you'll see is on the left-hand side, all of their tags, every status, everything is gonna just show up on their page. So let me see if I can find
you. Want to go to mine? Oh, Colleen, yeah, that's your demo.
Let's see if she is here. But so that way, like literally you don't have to go anywhere. It's just going to show up. Like, let's see if I have her tracked in here. Anyways, what you'll see when I actually find someone that is like this.
Syncing. Yeah.
Yes, you will see.
Alicia just said she's already getting her Black Friday VIP list set.
Yes. Yes.
Like,
oh yeah, it's crazy, right?
That's awesome.
So when you do those things, for example, like if you have a post that's like, raise your hand if you want to learn XYZ, every single person who says me, are you adding them to your nurturing funnel, right? Mm-hmm. Your steps. There's just so many amazing things that you can do this. It's out of control. So
is there a follow-up tool, or is it you set the stage and then you run that to say who's due for a follow-up? I didn't see that part yet.
Yeah. So what I would recommend is we have a built-in follow-up tool within GroupTrack.
Okay.
And so currently it's not automated, but what you would do is every time you move someone from one stage to another, if you want to, you could just set a follow-up task saying, hey, reach back out to this person in 30 days or whatever. Eventually what we're going to be doing, and this is like, I guess.
Nate's on here, so.
He is?
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay, Nate, sorry. Nate is my follower, by the way. He's like the most glorious person, and I get in so much trouble because I say things that
LOL.
Yes. Okay, shout out to Nate, you guys, because Nate built this whole thing. He's
Nate, you're awesome.
But we are going to make it at some point where when you move someone from one stage to the next, it will automatically trigger that task to be set. So you don't have to manually go in and say, do the thing. So yeah, it's going to be really exciting.
That's fine, because I think it's all different. Like I want people to get away from, okay, in 3 days ago, did you watch the video? And then 7 days, you're like, so how are your kids in soccer? Like, want to get away from that kind of mechanical piece, even though we want some automation, but to ask yourself, okay, based on how this went, when would be an appropriate time to follow up, right? Did they sound really busy, stressed out right now? They said, hit me up after the holidays. Tell me what you've got for Black Friday specials. Like, you can still set it up. Like Alicia set it up. You can set it up to text you. I mean, seriously, could you imagine opening your phone every day and it's like, here are your 10 people to follow up with today?
Yeah.
Talk about running your day like a boss. I mean, seriously. So you could make it do that the way that you need it to, but you would be thinking to yourself, okay, based on how this went, when would be a good reason to follow up with that person?
Exactly.
Okay.
One other little thing to show you guys, again, when you guys are bringing people into your Facebook group, that is a registered Facebook group, you're going to notice here that we've got this little GroupTrack symbol. And when I click this, not only is it going to add you to my group, but all of this information you just gave me is going to go into GroupTrack. So it's going to pull your email address that you provided for me. It is going to give all this stuff, right? So then I can go back and follow up with you and say, hey, you said that your biggest struggle was pivoting online. I'm not sure if you're aware, but this is what I do. And then boom, get them value right away, right? So all of this is going to be really amazing because we can simply just add them right by clicking approve. The other thing that is really amazing once you're in your Facebook group, and this is honestly how I use GroupTrack the most, I literally just go to my members page every single morning. I run GroupTrack and I look to see where the people are in my group and what are they, like, what is the process they're in. And literally, you guys, I can just look at every single person and know where they are in my process flow without even looking. Like literally, boom, add to GroupTrack, put her in the new stage. It's literally that simple. So you can see I've got some work to do, right? These people just joined. I need to start moving them through my process, sending them my welcome message and so forth, but I already know what to do. It's done for me. So that's really pretty easy. Other thing is you guys can do it on your friends page too, right? So think about how many friends you guys have that maybe you haven't even considered if they would want to join your Facebook group or if they'd be a good fit for your program. Same thing, you guys can just go to your friends list and you can start tracking people, adding them to GroupTrack and seeing where they are. So
kind of like how you showed with the business page, and
exactly.
I'll put the link in here, that those people and pages that are following you to go, oh my gosh, like those are leads. But if you have your account on public, which I teach, if you guys can make it work, I know sometimes there's nuances, but if it can be on public, there are so many times when there's people commenting on my post or a live where I'm like, I don't know, who is that? If it's on public, the likelihood of someone else popping onto your feed that you've never talked to before is high. So with it synced on the GroupTrack, you'll be able to identify that really quickly. And then you can decide like, oh, have I talked to that person before, right? So all those things, all the people who are slipping through the cracks. I mean, come on, if you have 2, 3, 4, 5,000 friends on Facebook and you don't have people to talk to, there's a disconnect. So this is going to take all of that away and really like give you exactly what you need to make sure you are utilizing your connections on Facebook.
And really monetizing it, you guys, you know, when you sit there and it's like, there are times where you're frustrated, like, I just feel like I don't have leads. You do. They're literally sitting there waiting for you to proactively say, hey, thank you so much for being part of my group. How can I serve you? Right? Like I said, $20,000 in coaching I sold in 1 week using GroupTrack because I systematically went through my Facebook group and said, what are you working on? How can I serve you? What can I do for you? And then made an offer, right? And then that, I mean, obviously that paid for my GroupTrack, but you know what I mean? Like, think about like, holy smokes, what is the potential that you guys can be doing when you have this system in place? So it's pretty amazing. If you'd like, I can talk about pricing. I know that there are a couple.
Yeah, I just put the link in there. If you guys are on Facebook, I'll drop it in the comments right now, but we'll put it, because a lot of you will catch replay. We will put it in the description. And then we will also put, we'll get you Alicia's checklist once you register for it. But with the pricing too, she's going to go over that now. Of course, it costs something for it, but I will tell you 2 things. One, it's a tax write-off. So anytime you invest in your business, you don't pay taxes on that, you write it off. So I always think of it, I'm at like the 35% tax income rate or whatever. So I'm always like, I'm getting 35% off. I mean, you still pay it, but think of it that way. The other thing is, imagine if you snagged one person. If you snagged one person in a month, it's paid for itself. And then
absolutely. So, yeah. And we literally, for what it does, people are like, you're crazy to only charge the amount you are, but we really want to make this accessible for everybody. At any rank, any level in their business. So we have 4 tiers, and I'll actually share my screen really quick to just show them to you guys and kind of walk you through how that looks. And the reason we do 4 tiers is because, like I said, we want to make sure that everybody can do this and it's not breaking your bank to be able to do it. So the first option is called
Did Nate do those little superheroes?
Yes.
I love it. It's so great.
We are here to save the day.
Yes.
So you'll see in our Facebook group too, we're like, pow, bam, yeah, we're ridiculous. So the basic plan is basically you get up to 5,000 contacts that you can register in GroupTrack, and it's going to be a solo account, meaning just you yourself are going to use it. With every single plan, it's like the base plan. If you would like to add additional team members, you can add them for $10 a month per person. So for example, if you only have 5,000 members, which by the way, only is a weird word because 5,000 is like a lot actually.
Yeah.
If you have 5,000 members and you want to add a team member, absolutely. You can just add on $10 to that. It brings it to $39.99 a month. So definitely worth the money there. The starter program is up to 10,000 contacts in GroupTracks, and it comes with your account, plus you get one team member. That's included. Okay, premium is up to 25,000 contacts. It comes with you plus 2 teammates. And then pro is up to 40,000 contacts, and you're going to get 3 team seats. So I will say that most of our clients sit in the basic and starter as they're getting going, right? And then they can just kind of start to make some money and bring some more people in, and then they move up the ladder. But we really wanted to make this affordable for everybody. So this is the monthly price. If you'd like to pay annually, you actually get 2 months for free. So,
and it is US dollars, somebody asked.
It is US, absolutely, right? So you can choose either way. So when you go to checkout, you're going to pick whichever plan you want. You're going to process that. Then when you go into the app here, right, the actual web app, I don't know if I still have it pulled up, you will see if you'd like to add team members in addition to what you already got with your program, you will be able to add your team members right here under team settings, right? So you can see I've got 3 members working my business. And so you can just add them and you can tell them what groups you'd like them to have permission to work and so forth. So that's a really huge thing with network marketing, right?
It's like virtual assistants. Some of them have virtual assistants. So if you want them working in there, but not necessarily logged in as you, if they did want the virtual assistant logged in as them, they would just have the $29.99 or whatever, and then have them have access.
Exactly. If you want someone to act like they are you,
right,
you're going to log into your Facebook profile and you just need the solo account.
Okay.
If you're going to have like a concierge in your Facebook group or like a community manager or something like that, it's so easy. You literally just say, hey, this is Jenna. I work with Kimberly and da-da-da, right? Like totally people love it. So absolutely.
Got it. Okay. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. So I think what we'll do, guys, is I dropped my affiliate link in the webinar. It's going to come on replay. So you'll get an email with a replay of this so you can go through it. And then what I want you guys to do is after you grab it, let us know if you didn't get the checklist from Alicia, which she will send. Trust me, there'll be trainings that we'll do like specifically for like conversations and stuff like that. You guys will see us implementing this versus Trello. We won't be using that anymore for prospecting, keeping track of it. So you'll see that in my content and my coach's content. But the other thing is when they get GroupTrack, is there trainings within that you have to get them started?
Yes. In fact, when you sign up, you're going to get access to a free course where I'm literally going to walk you through how to set it up. And I'm like the most like step-by-step person in life. So don't worry.
Good.
It's like this.
That.
Yes. That is like how my life is. So it's super step-by-step. And then we also have a Facebook group for anybody who wants to come in. I do live trainings every single Thursday. So if you are ever stuck with something or you have a question, you're going to get access to me and I'm going to walk you through exactly what to do. And then we have the Facebook group where of course you can put questions, but every single Thursday at 12 o'clock Pacific time, I am in our Facebook group doing a free coaching for everybody.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, very cool. I love it.
We're all about retention. We want to make sure that you don't buy something that it just sits on the shelf, right? We want to make sure that you get value for what you invest in. So we will do everything to get you up and running to make sure that you get a good experience.
So if for those that are not very tech savvy, like I told you guys, she showed you like all the things. I didn't use all that when I got in there. That's more like what Alicia and Anna, they like love tags and all that stuff. So I used it very simply just to say, what stage is this person in? And then I made notes after I had a conversation with them. Like Messenger will track that, but I actually got on a Zoom with a couple of people. So I was able to go in there and say, this is what we talked about in the Zoom, which is so helpful because if I talk to that person in 3 months, 6 months, I'll be completely honest, I'm not going to remember what we talked about on Zoom. It's just too many conversations. So I keep it really simple the way I'm using it. If you're like green personality, you like to nerd out a bit, it has everything that you could think of. But how much time would you say if they're more on the non-techie side like me, they sign up, how much time should they schedule to go through the basic training and then get this like integrated with their account? 30
Yeah,
minutes,
absolutely.
an hour, what would you say?
Yeah, I think definitely if you go through the training, my videos are like bite size because I don't want you to have to like sit down and go search for something. So it's literally, how do I do this? Do
Okay.
this, right? Like it's as tiny baby bites as you can so that you can go virtually school your kid in between and not lose your mind.
Right.
So, we've got clients who certainly will just sit down and binge it for a day and be done, build it out, and then they're off and running. Other people like to take a little bit more time, but the videos are very short.
Okay.
And with having Alicia's checklist, that's going to truly be the game changer for you guys, right? For me, like typically GroupTrack, we just give you the blank slate and you are expected to build your process. I know for the clients I coach, I give them the Jenna process, right? And that kind of comes with it. And so just know that like the fact that Kimberly's giving you her full process, like I charge a lot of money for mine. I'm like, this is absolutely amazing that she's going to give this to you.
Yeah, that you should charge. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's like, if you have a system, I don't care what system it is, if you don't have a plan to work it, it's worth nothing, right? So the fact that she's giving to you is going to save you all the time in your life.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah. The checklist will be just, you'll be off and running to know, like, I think of it this way. We're taking something complicated, a sales funnel that can be overwhelming for people's brains, especially if you're trying to do all this manually, which is what we've all been trying to do. That's all up in here. And we got to stop doing that because we all have too much going on already. So we're taking that when she says stages, everyone comes at the top, right? New friend or new prospect. And then what's the next stage? Oh, cool. Got them in the group. Oh, cool. I was able to connect with them and offer a freebie. Oh, cool. I told them what I did. Follow it up, close them. That's what we're doing here, you guys, in a systematic way. So we have those stages. Alicia has taken what, we've done as gold diggers, and we've set that up for you and given it to you. So you just go in there and you can just rename the stages. So you'll be off and running. You will not need a lot of time. Yeah, silver platter. You guys won't need a lot of time to set it up, but it's going to take a minute. So if you're going, oh man, when are you going to do this? Like if you're not going to stop now, and this is the key, you got to stop working in your business to work on it, to take 20 steps forward. So if you guys are really serious, because we're doing 2021 planning is coming up in a couple of weeks. If you guys are really serious, you're like, no, I want to treat this business like a boss, especially if you have limited time. You more than anyone need to really get on this. So take the time, slow down here, get all your ducks in a row, and then it's just click, 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 click on autopilot. I mean, you're going to transform your business.
Yeah, absolutely. It's life. It really is. And anybody too, I will actually throw this in because I feel like your audience is so amazing. I know one of the things that Alicia is doing is giving you guys that checklist. I don't believe hers is coming with message snippets. I have a cheat sheet of all the messenger snippets that I send, and anybody who purchases, I will throw that in for you guys as well.
I'm so excited. You are so amazing. When you said that thing about your snippets, I'm like, I want to see your snippets. Girl, can I see your snippets?
Totally.
Okay, so snippets is basically those predetermined conversations that you can just send within the platform, which is it's gonna be, and one thing we want to mention, Facebook is still viewing those conversations like you are a person. So don't be like a bot, like happy birthday, right? Do it just like you would if you're really messaging them. And also when you have variations of the like happy birthday and you say that thing to that person, you could create some variations, just rotate through those. But about 20 messages per hour is a safe amount. But look at how you can just knock these out, work on something else, knock this out, keep it up, the whole time. And you're going to be able to really get some serious work done.
Yes, and it will vary your text for you. So you can put in a couple little versions of what you want it to look like. Every time you send the message, it will switch it up a little bit for you.
That is awesome. Seriously.
Nate, it's Nate. He's
Thank you,
crazy.
Nate.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. We're so lucky. We're so lucky to have both of you to create something like this. I mean, this is literally like, I've always wished for something like this.
Yeah.
And when you said it, I was like, are you sure this is real? You're like, no, it's better. We've had it for months. Like it's real. It's just getting better and better too. I mean, I can't even imagine what you guys are going to do over the next year with this. So.
I know, we're excited.
Okay. So I'll put the link on the Zoom reel one more time. If you're watching replay and this was emailed to you, or we'll put this on YouTube as well. look in the description, you'll see the affiliate link. Use that one so you can get the freebies and bonuses we talked about. If you're watching this on Facebook, look in the description of this video and we'll put the links up there on it. If you need anything, you can always message me or, you know, my staff. If you know who my people are, we'll get you whatever is missing for this. And I'm just really excited about this. So thank you so much for bringing this to market. Nate and Jenna, thank you guys.
Thank you. And I will send you the link to grab my snippets, Kimberly, and you can post it there as well. And
okay,
all your peeps can have them.
You rock. Thank you for doing that. And everyone's saying thank you. So I love it. Okay. Thanks, girlfriend. Thanks for being here with us. Everyone that watched, thank you so much. Let's crush our prospecting. Woo-woo. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Bye.